Now, if, for instance, someone comes into your store, right, and they seem good about it and leave, normally not knowing anything was wrong, right, initially anyway, and then they start looking at the clock, right, you know, maybe I just got caught up in the damn job and lost track of time or something. You might think that at first, right? And then you know, realize something more happened, but you're not sure what. So you start trying to figure out, well, what happened, right? So you wonder, well, what happened, right? I was in there a whole hour. Anyway. And as I went about my way, on my day, I realized, wait a minute, I was in there over an hour, over an hour, over the time to do a nail job, right? Because I had done several before that, right? Then, right, I adjust to what happened and start wondering what happened, and I give you several ideas that I've just fall asleep, right? Did I have a heart attack, right? Ask that too, right? Or did me and the girl do something sexual, right? Three possibilities I could have done with any woman, right? Not just her. And not knowing anything other than what she told me. And I actually remember during the experience in that particular store, right? So, see, your problem ain't simply that I went into the store. It's also when I came out of the store, right? So, if I'm in there for a long time, right, and I know I am, I gotta wonder, well, what happened, right? See, I'm not giving you irrational ideas, right? I'm giving you things I might could have done, right? Not knowing if I did or didn't, right? That I did with other women as well, not just her, right? She wasn't targeted by me, right? For a specific purpose or a reason. I didn't know her, right? Or plan to do anything with her, good or bad, right? And all I can guess by your response is you're either the man who did my nails the second time, or she was both nice to me but extra nice to me, right? Right. And she did something with me you didn't want her to do, but she did it anyway. Right, right. Now, there's only one place we can go to in the store for privacy, right? That's the bathroom, right? Period, period. And, I don't remember going to the bathroom with her, right? At all, at all. I remember her doing what she was supposed to do, right? And she did a good job. I know that part, right? That was fine, right? But what wasn't fine was I missed the two movies I had a choice to see, which is why I was in the salon at the time I went there anyway, which was after two, right? So I knew I could be out by 10 to 3, right? And had 10 to 20 minutes to see my movie and get my ticket, right? For my movie, or the movie I wanted to see that day, right? And that's when the problem became you arguing with me that nothing happened when something happened that you don't want me to know happened. You say you even have a camera, right? And you have video of it, but you won't show it to me and you ban me from the store, right? I'm not dumb, right? And I know myself, right? And I know young girls, 15 or 37, who have been with me, right? And I don't know exactly why, right? But I've had this happen before, right? Right. Exactly, exactly. This ain't my first merry-go-round, right? So all you can do is lie about it, right? And I know you're lying, right? But I still care about the girl. It could have been love at first sight for me. I don't know. I told you that, right? I'm looking for an Asian girl who looked like her, right? Not necessarily her age, I didn't know that, right? I would ask her that as I did. I asked certain information about her. Where are you from? How long have you been working here? Da 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 da. Standard questions. How old are you? Right? And even with Kelly, I asked her questions. Right? Exactly, exactly. Because I could be interested in her, but if she's got a husband or a boyfriend or is involved, I can't be with her, right? Right. Except I didn't lose an hour with Kelly, right? I don't think, right? Though it took me an hour to eat at the buffet, but I usually eat those slowly anyway, so I didn't think it was a problem. Or I was in there too long or anything, right? And I usually eat 3 plates, but um, part of the point was how she reacted after she told me she didn't have a boyfriend, and then I went back out again or something, right? And then she told me she had a husband instead, right? And again, I said, okay, right? I understood that too, right? But then I kept going out, right? Right? Well, what's her problem with that after that, right? I still ain't doing nothing wrong, right? No, no. I'm just eating at the restaurant. The food, the food. It's not about her at all. Not to my memory or knowledge, in that restaurant as well. Though a nail salon ain't the same as a restaurant. I wasn't going in the nail salon to eat food, right? So of course, if I eat food, right, versus not eat food, right, I still, like I said, didn't do nothing, right, to warrant Kelly's behavior to me, as I kept going out more and more, right? And her making it personal about her, and not about me just having a local buffet, right? Which, again, right, even before I met her, I like Chinese food, right? So I couldn't understand what her problem was, right? So I just kept going out, even when she wasn't working that way. And like I said, right, it wasn't about her. And sometimes little Michelle would be there, but there again, I didn't do nothing with her, right? And then, of course, um, up to a certain point, right? I think they got there shortly after I moved to my apartment anyway, which was around 2003 anyway, right? Or 4 or somewhere in there, right? Whatever, whatever. And then I moved on, right? I know. But, right, I don't know nothing. I'm also not eating like I ate around Kelly either, right? I'm trying to make it quicker, but I still feel there's a problem, right, when I eat out there, even if I don't know quite what the problem is, right? Right. And I don't know anything besides, again, sitting down, eating the food, and leaving, right, right. Even happened even around Kelly, right? Unless she's doing something more than I remember, right? Right. And, you know, That's all I can think of with her too, right? and, um, and see, what she don't realize about consent or not consent is even married, right? You can cheat on your husband, that's what adultery is, but you're to also forgive it, as Jesus' example was with the woman caught dead of adultery anyway, right? But I don't know I had sex with her at all, right? You know what I mean, right? And I didn't feel like I was either. Now, I might go home and maybe have a wet dream later on about her or one of the other waitresses, but it wasn't just her either, right? Like I said, when someone's kind of harassing you, reverse harassment, because you're honest enough to tell them about your mental illness and your fall and your injury, right? Are you trying to seduce them, right? Or tell them the truth, because they shouldn't have a problem with you going out there after you tell them what you're dealing with, because you're dealing with it positively, not negatively, and you tell them that too. And I've been dealing with it since a certain time, right? Even before I went out to your store, right? And I ain't gotten into troubles, you know, when nobody, you know, right? I was around, right? Before you or after you, right? Right. You're not the only Chinese restaurant I would frequent anyway. There was one downtown I would go out to with a girl named Wah, right? But I don't think nothing's happening with Wah either. I'm just trying to be a new boyfriend. I was willing to date her. I wanted to maybe even marry her, but somehow our wires got crossed, I guess. Right? I don't know. But it started when she approached me one of the times I was in there and said she was a virgin, and I didn't know what she meant. So I came back more to figure out why, right? Because I thought I didn't even ask her if she was a virgin or not, right? And it wouldn't matter to me if she was one or not. With a non-virgin and maybe not yet a virgin that I know of, right? But still, I've had sex with four, right? So all I know is even going out there, it was just like similar to with Kelly, right? But for an odd reason, even with a girl named Christabel, who I met downtown in the shopping area on Congress Street, right? She acted weird. First, she acted like she wanted to help me find a girlfriend, right? And we started emailing a little bit. And then I started telling her some more personal stuff about Pastor Davis, right? And things I was exposed to growing up, right? And again, about the dream and stuff like that. And again, I'm not doing anything weird. I also acted like hypothetically, and I told her this was made up, right? Even if she were to like me herself, right? And Sean, her fiance, you know, got upset about us even talking or something, right? I would still do the honorable thing if, you know, he paid to bring her over here, I would pay him the money back, right? And stuff like that, right? And not saying we were doing anything either, right? Right? I know. But then it got weird because the more I saw her, right, the weirder she got until she acted like I was kind of stalking her like Kelly was acting as well. She's trying to make it about her, and I don't know what I'm doing with her either, right? But I'm looking for a what? An Asian looking girl, right? Not only now, right? I've dated multiple different women, right? I would take an African American or a mixed, or right, a mixed Asian girl like Maribel, right? You gotta be pure Asian, right? You can be big or small, or right, have big boobs or little boobs, right? You know what I mean, right? Or in the middle boobs, right? And that's what I mean, right? They might think we're 4 men on the Temple Mount. Not just two. Just two. I might have to protect them in Israel if we have to go there or something. Right? I don't know. See, the problem is most men who are religious overreact to what they think their religion is saying. Oops, sorry. And don't really read their books, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, when someone tells you their head and hair are white as snow, this is kind of what it means. kind of. Except, again, white eyebrows, right? White beard, if he had a beard, or according to Isaiah, they plucked it off, right? Out. Mm-hmm. In fact, the two men who saw him didn't quite recognize him, right? But, I guess if you're healing 2 days after or something, you might look a little awkward, right? Though he metamorphed in front of them with two other people appearing who they thought were Moses and Elijah, right? Though Jesus said John the Baptist was Elijah, but what's going on, right? We don't know. But the two witnesses in Revelations are in the same spirit as who? Moses and Elijah, right? Mm-hmm. Now, being in the spirit of Moses and Elijah ain't the same as being Moses and Elijah, right? Either, right? John the Baptist didn't know anything about Elijah, right? But Zechariah and Elizabeth did, right? And Elizabeth was going to call him John, right? Or Yochanan, right? And, or Yehochanan, right? Or Yahoo Kanan, I'm not sure. Anyway, three possible ways to pronounce it. So anyway, they were told he would be in the spirit and power of Elijah, right? And would go before the Messiah, right? Jesus, right? His cousin, right? And see if they're cousins and Zechariah and Elizabeth are Levites, so is the mother a Levite in what? Judah. The woman he came through was Judah and Levite. Know what that means? Prince and priest, right? So again, he was born of a woman who had a cousin that was a Levite, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning she was also part Levite, part Judah, right? They say the second lineage is Mary's, right? Mm-hmm. The first one is Joseph's through Solomon, right? Who was the actual king, right? But for some reason, Coniah or Jehoiakim, who's mentioned in the line, was cut off, right? So he went to Babylon. I guess he had a son there. I don't know. They're acting weird about that, right? But he was also cut off from sitting on the throne, right? Yeah, that was cut off from. Right. And no man of his line was sit on the throne. That goes to androgyny again of Jesus, right? Who is a man or a woman, but a man and a woman, more so than us, and similar to Adam. There's only two men the woman can be taken out of, and I think one of them was Adam and the other one was Jesus, right? And then the other one was the tree of life, or the tree of life and evil, right? They were both in the image of God, right? But one taught evil and one taught good, right? But in order to do the evil, he had to do the good first, right? To corrupt them both, right? And then offer him 2 for 1 sale. You know, I've told you about that, right? And again, right? Now, if I lost 5 minutes, like, and it took an hour even to 4, right, or 3, right? No problem, no problem. Or again, right? If I went out the second time, the guy didn't act weird about it and wouldn't let none of the women do my nails, but him. And then the third time I went out was when I was again going to a movie around the middle of January, around the 12th, right? Right, right. Which I was talking about women normally ovulate in the middle of the month anyway and stuff like that, right? I wasn't, you know, doing anything but making a point. But not any point, but just a point, right? Right. And arguing with him about it, right, or someone about it, right, either him or her, right. And like I said, even if we did something in the bathroom or not, I don't know what we did, right? So he calls me amnesia because you think we did something, right? So if we did or didn't, only she does, right? I told you that too, right? But she can deny it if you're acting weird about it, right? Even if she has the baby come, right? or not, right? I don't know which. I don't know which. but see. And yeah, I'm still a man, right? Usually you gotta have sex to get someone pregnant, right? Not just divine conceive it like Jesus, right? Only one person was conceived without the aid of a man, and that's Jesus, right? Now, like I said, only if his mother was a hermaphrodite could you explain it, or the angel of the Lord became the embryo of Jesus, right? As Gabriel told her to call the child, and Joseph as well. Now, the problem with the Muslim faith is this coming up 500 years later, Muslims, right? You can't take someone else's religion and try to change it and be a prophet of Yahweh or Allah, whatever you want to call it, right? There's also El A'a or El U'a, right? I don't judge, but nobody's perfect, right? Well, I told you what happened to with my ex-girlfriend. I know, right? Made love to her, right? Before or after marriage, that's up to her too, right? And like I said, people are sneaking over to the house and then leaving, and then everything's back as it was before I went to sleep, right? Which is weird. And you're interfering with my dating life then, right? And you too can't set me up with an underage girl. That's why I ask the ages and I just try to interact with people normally, right? Especially during the day. And I'm usually pretty more aware during the day unless I lose time, right? Then I'm gonna wonder again what's going on, right? Now, if I know why something's going on, like say I go into Shada's restaurant and there got a lot of people in there, of course, right? I know there's a reason for that, right? But if there ain't, right, then I'll start worried about it, right? Like I said, right? But the girl came right away, right? To do my nails, right? And that's kind of the whole point, right? She met me at the door, right? She was the first one to approach me, and I asked her the normal things, what's your name, right? She said Michelle, right? Asked her how old she was, she said 37, right? Asked her where she was from, she said New Jersey, right? Asked her what, did she go to school or anything, she said she went to university, right? Out there in New Jersey, I guess, right? Right, right. And then we started doing the nail job. But then when she went down to actually start the procedure, right, the women were kind of chattering when I came in, right? So I thought they were messing with her sexually. And one of the things I remember asking her is, what is, do you call the name of your god Tien? Right, right. That's why I called him Tien for a while. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. Or what it's about. But that don't mean that happened either, right?
His life. She has a calling
her. But I'm the one banned, right? 3 months later, right? And I still don't know why, right? That's vigilante behavior as well, right? Someone tried to take the law into their own hands and do something illegal to me, but I don't normally do something illegal unless I'm lied to, right? Or tricked into it, right? And I keep asking, well, if you have a video, show me the tape, right? Why ain't you showing me the tape? Because I'd have to come back into the store because that's the only one it happened in. Yeah, yeah. I don't go around sleeping with a bunch of Asian girls anyway, normally, right? Unless one feels they have to blackmail me or something, or that they're trying to get rid of me, right? From not going out in the store, and that's the only thing they can think of to get me in trouble, is to have sex with me, right? But of course, like I said, there's only one place to do it, and it's kind of a small bathroom, but it can work. It can work. I'm not that big. I'm not that big. But whatever. I'm trying to get over it too, right? Right. It happened in 2019, right? Or 19. Not 20, right? Not 21, and not now 22, right? That's where you use the last two numbers, right? Of 2000 and 2000. But I'm still me, by the way. I'm still trying to find someone, Asian or not, right? Like I said, right? The redhead. Blonde dyed or blonde not dyed, right? Right? If that even exists, right? I don't know if I've ever seen anything but a sandy blonde, right? But not a true blonde, right? Does that too, right? I know women dye their hair, but I try not to. Little going everywhere today. But still the same, Right. Now, like my little picture there, it's to show you something they never showed me, right? That I see, right? Or I'm witnessing to, right? And I don't understand why they're hiding it, right? Or keeping it a secret or sealing it, right? So I'm trying to figure it out for myself, and I admit that, right? But I also see half of it has to do with the form of Jesus, right? And what he actually not only looked like in person, right? But also, see, is it idolatry for humans to worship and serve and help one another, right? Which seems to be what Satan wants you to think about our images, right? And there are three, not two, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And that's kind of the whole point, right? Right. So you can get mad about it, but once you ban me, I can't go out there again, and I haven't been out there since in 3 years. 3 years. But do I have a 2-year-old son by now? I don't know, right? Does he? And when you play vigilante, You gotta make sure all your ducks are in a row. Or you're breaking the law too. See, if she's underage and she feels she has to sleep with me, that's corruption of a minor. One I didn't make her do, but you did. You warned her about me. So much so that when she finally was with me herself, right, she knew better. She knew better. See, she can't know better either and do it anyway as well. Because, see, I didn't know what was going on with her, right? Before I went to the store and after, right? I wasn't trying to seduce her, but I was worried someone was messing with her either way about me being interested in her, right? And see, she knows I'm disabled. She might not even fear, actually, the sex part, because you would be gentle with her. Right. I wasn't even trying to hurt her. I'll make her feel good, probably, right? But she didn't want just the pleasure. She didn't really want me at all, right? So I would also forgive it, right? And try to let it go. Which she's pretending, or he's pretending, or whoever it is, right? That I'm not letting it go as well. When that's how love really works. If you really love someone, you hold on loosely, but don't let go, but don't do nothing to tip the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. You don't want to rock the boat, but then you're both on the boat, so you got to be careful, right? You don't rock the boat and tip the boat over, like the song says, right? I don't remember the artist off the top of my head, but the song. Exactly. Well, see, when you offer something for free, but there's a catch, right? Is it really free, right? Even a drug dealer will give you the first hit for free. Are you pimping out music? All right. Because only you can sing a song when you copyright it? Exactly. And no one can challenge you, huh? Right. Uh-huh. And say you sound bad or good or whatever, right? Nor can they impersonate you, huh? Is that what you think? Does copyright really work that way either? No. Unless you make bogus laws when it comes to music. Right. Because, see, we all learn to sing in school, right? Starting around kindergarten in first grade, right? We learn little nursery rhymes. I'm a little teapot for inside. Here is the handle, here is the top. We all learned that one, hopefully, I guess, right? Everyone around me might know that song, right? And I did it for my Mima, like I said, right? And then by the third grade, I'm going up on stage doing impersonations. I said this, I'm honest. So I know Fluffy does it too, right? He's Spanish. So am I. Just a little bit, dog. Not as much, right? Just a mixture of people, just a mixture of everybody, right? And that's a little bit, it's about 6 to 12, I don't know, but whatever, right? The most is Irish, right, which is 29%. The rest is whatever you need of the different nationalities to get to 100% of me, right? But it's English after that, German, French, Austrian, right? Greek, Italian, right? Then Spanish, Northern African, right? And Arabic. So that's 9 different nationalities. It don't mean I get 9 women I get through. I'll be a new Solomon, huh? Right. He had 1,000 though. I don't know if I'm hitting 1,000, but still. But see, I tell them what you like. Right. What I dream, what I did this, what I did that, right?